Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for October 14th, 2018. So this has been a hard week for me for reading. Work was really busy, but I really think I'm falling into a reading slump, and I don't want to, and I'm kind of upset with myself over this, except that I don't know if I've been trying to force myself to read books when I shouldn't be reading them. I should be going with what I feel like. I don't know. There's something going on. I'm not sure what it is. So of course I fell back on what I do usually when I go into a reading slump, which is to reread something. So I'll get to that of what I did yesterday in a minute. So the week I started out with is I was reading Malice, and I had decided to just go ahead and try to plow through this because I wasn't super far, but I mean, I was probably about like 100 or 200 in, probably about 200 in. I don't remember. Honestly, this week's a blur. Anyway, and then so I tried to read this through the week, and the more I read it, the more I got upset. And so there's a lot of things wrong with this book, I think. I think there's a lot of good stuff too. I don't want to downplay this. This is, if you're looking for a certain kind of fantasy, I think this is great. But I think for me at this moment, it's just not clicking for me. And I get more upset the farther I go in at how it's structured. And again, coming as somebody who writes, I look at stuff and I go, well, why are you doing it that way? Or why only these characters? My biggest deal with this is that there are very few women in this book, and very few even named. We only have one perspective out of like 6 that's female, and we only get her once in a great while. And I'm glad we at least have her, but it's like all the other women are either dead or kind of odd. Like, not, there's only one, I mean, other than the one female character that's a perspective, the only other woman I liked is one of the characters' mothers, and she seems pretty cool, but we still don't, know a lot about her. There's some, something, there's just, she's still like a mom, so that's all she gets. Like, I don't know, it's something weird. And then there's other people who are, really cruel or obviously behind the badness, or one who's kind of, I don't know, not a very strong woman. I don't know, she doesn't come off very well. Anyway, so the point is I'm not really enjoying this. So I kept trying, and I did tab it up to try to tell myself to read the 21 pages a day. And as I said, I decided I'm gonna just try to blow it out, and I couldn't do it. I did get into this. I'm at 430, yeah, just about, almost there. And I don't want to pick this book up anymore. Most of the week, this is what I was reading. I think by Thursdays when I was deciding that I obviously am going into a slump at this point because I wasn't reading much of anything, and it's kind of upsetting me. So I'm still 200 pages from the end. I could technically in 10 days be done with the book if I do my 21 pages, but I have not picked it up in 2 or 3 days now. I mean, I think Thursday was the last day I touched this book. So I don't know. I'm on the fence, and I mean, I'm guessing it's gonna, things are happening. It's not like things aren't happening. It's just, I'm finding I'm not compelled to pick this book up. And I think, and again, it's part of that problem is that it's a very male-dominant fantasy. And I've read so many of them. Don't get me wrong. That is not the problem. It still comes down to a lot of these men are boys, and they're boy perspectives. And to me, this is verging on the point of being annoying because most of them are young. And I mean, I get why they, they do certain things or say certain things because they're young men and, all that stuff. But I don't know if I want to read that. So I think that's where my problem is. I'm sure it gets better because they get older through the series, but I'm having the biggest trouble with this. And so I am leaving it like I haven't DNF'd it completely. It's still sitting by me on the couch. So if I pick it up and read my 21 pages, but I have to tell you, like when I set this down on Thursday, I have not picked it up since until just now to show you guys this. So I don't know. I'm really disappointed. I was really hoping to do the whole series. Again, it's the Faithful and the Fallen. It's like 4-book series. And again, I've heard about this series. I just hadn't picked it up, and I was really hoping to do the read along. But I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I'll be lucky if I finish this book at this point. So I'm going to give myself a little time and see if I don't want to say force it, but it feels like I'm forcing it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And I'm really disappointed because, again, I love fantasy, and I mean, it's not like I haven't read a lot of male-dominated fantasy, because that's what I grew up on, but the point, it just, there's something about this, and I think it really is because there are few females portrayed very well at all in here, and then mostly it's because they're all young men, and they're starting to all annoy me. I just can't do it. Anyway, right now. So, again, I said, it's gonna sit there, I'll see if I can plow through and read 21 pages a day, or at some point start again. Because again, I'm 10 days away from finishing that if I just do that 21 pages, but I don't know if I can do it. At least I don't feel like it right now. So I decided to pick up my Victober read that I, set aside to read the fantasy that I've read so far this month, and The Tenant of Huelva Hall by Anne Bronte. So I've been wanting to read this all year, since last year I read Agnes Grey, and I really enjoyed Agnes Grey by the end. Like, the beginning was kind of slow, but then when you got to the end, it was really a good payout. I liked it. Anyway, so I've been wanting to read this, and I bought this last year, so it's been sitting on my shelf all year. So I really wanted to read this, and when I did finally start reading this on Thursday and Friday, I started getting into this, and so I am enjoying it. I'm only 115 pages in, but the chapter that something's gonna happen, I had to put it down yesterday because I'm just like, oh no, Gilbert, no. Anyway, so I'm kind of unsure about this one too, which is kind of sad right now. And so this is why I'm thinking I'm going into a reading slump. So I love the writing in this, and as I said, in Malice, it was not the writing itself. Like, he writes well. That's not what my problem is. This one, again, we have a male telling the story, Gilbert, I don't remember what his last name is. Markham, I think. And he meets a lady who has come to the neighborhood, and nobody knows really a whole lot about her, but she's called Mrs. Graham, Mrs. Helen Graham. And so he's obviously falling for her, and it's I mean, again, it's just, the beginning is real. I liked the beginning, and so far, and it's kind of interesting, and I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of going, why is this book going to be so long? Obviously, something's going to go on. But the next chapter is not what I really want to get to, and if you've read it, it's chapter 14. I just, young men, again, my issue right now. Anyway, so, I'll probably push through and try to read more of this, but I suppose I'm not DNFing this. I'm just saying I slowed down. So like yesterday I got to that point. I'd read about 50 or 60 pages yesterday, and I was like, okay, I'm done for now. So it's so sad because I'm not reading a lot of Victorian literature this Victober when I've been looking forward to it all year. So I think I'm going into a reading slump. And I'm not seriously blaming Malice, but I could. Work's been busy too, so I don't know. But anyway, so I hope to continue this one. Just said I still got 400 pages left, so it's gonna be probably all week at the smallest. I mean, if I can get most of that done. I don't know. I'm not reading very fast right now. I'm just very distracted. So of course, because I'm having reading problems, I go, okay, we've got to the point now where I need to reread something that that I've read, that I loved, and I just need to escape. So of course I picked Nillingi Singh. So this is Ocean Light. I think it's book 17 in the Side Changeling. Anyway, or I don't think the third in the Side Changing trilogy, the second section. I haven't reread this one yet. I read it in June when it came out, so it's time for the reread. As I said, Nillingi Singh is like my first author I go to for a reread, and so it's no surprise I picked up one of her paranormal romances, just because it's fun, and I know, I mean, again, I know it's gonna happen, but again, I've only read the book once, so it's still kind of new to me, so I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I've fallen back into reading that, and again, that's like in a really long series, as I said, it's number 17 or so, or 18, I don't remember, it's really far down the line. And so I would recommend reading them in order on those, starting with Slave to Sensation. But they were just fun, again, with psychics and changelings and humans all trying to live in a world together. It's pretty good. Anyway, so I did want to say I did not get to listen to any of my audiobook. When I tried to listen to Sherlock Holmes in my car this week, on Monday, the car wouldn't recognize my my phone, so I couldn't listen to Audible. And then I tried it one other day and I thought, well, maybe I'll just restart my phone and maybe that'll work. And then I just never plugged it back in. So I took a week off of an audiobook, so I will try again tomorrow with an audiobook in the car. I'm in the middle of the first short story of Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I'm in A Scandal in Bohemia. So again, I read these when I was very young. Preteen anyway, and I don't remember any of them, so I'm hoping to get through at least the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes for Victober, but you know, who knows. I'm not sure if I'll make it or not, but I still want to keep listening to them because again, Stephen Fry is just amazing on there. And then I am just gonna write this down because I'm just gonna be honest, I'm DNFing Wuthering Heights. I can't do it. Sorry guys, Emily Bronte and I do not mix, or we don't get along, and I didn't think we would. I think I've tried to read the first couple pages before and I just can't deal with her style, and it obviously is just me. I mean, I tried to tab this to at least read like 20 some pages. I couldn't even do that. Like, I just can't do this. I've had this book on my shelf for decades and I just can't read it. And even though my friend really wanted me to read this and says I really should, and I'm sure that's probably maybe true in a certain sense, but if I'm gonna hate it from the first couple pages, I'm not doing it. And I couldn't even do the, you know, give it 50 pages. I can't do it. Like, I just have this block against this book and I'm just not gonna deal with it. There are many other classics I can read. If this is the only one that I say no to, I think I'm doing okay, because I'm just like not doing it. So, that's kind of it for my update. I went a little longer than I thought I was going to for so few books. But I'm not doing so hot right now. So it's just, I'm guessing I just had to take a break from the books that weren't working for me, or that I was thinking, like, I just need something to, not mindless, but I've already read the book, so it's fun and I'm enjoying it because I'm revisiting something I like. So hopefully I'll finish that up probably today. And then tomorrow go back to 10 to Wildfell Hall. I have all these books on my TBR for Victober, and I'm not gonna get to like half of them. Like, it's so sad. It didn't work out this year, and I'm kind of upset. I mean, again, I did do a fantasy kick, so that kind of did throw things off a little bit, but I'm a little upset. I was planning to read all these books, and I'm not reading enough. Like, I'm making my 50 pages a day kind of average that I like to hit, but I'm not doing very much past that. So I don't know. And again, of course, now I'm rereading. So we'll see how this next week goes. So, hey, how are you guys doing? I hope your guys' Victober is going better than mine. Have you read Malice? What did you think? I hope I'm not the only one. I've seen at least one other person who didn't enjoy it, but I'm hoping that, I'm not the only one who's looking at it going, I'm having trouble. I don't know. I mean, I just can't get into it. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.